50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town.
So in 2007, the fourth installment of the Call of Duty series came out, and it was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. It came out on the consoles, the PS3, the Xbox 360, and the PC. And in a lot of people's opinion, and this is my own personal opinion, it is the best first-person shooter of all time. A lot of people can argue about other games or whatever, but this one completely revolutionized everything. This, to me, is the best first-person shooter I've ever played. And I've been playing first-person shooters since Wolfenstein. I love the game. When I got back into gaming, I came back into this, and I had an unhealthy addiction to Call of Duty 4. So much so that I started doing a thing called Knife Only. I got the idea from a guy named ONLYUSEKnife. He was making YouTube videos, and I watched him. And the things to do after you played the hell out of Call of Duty 4 was either to snipe quickscope like your Grizz, or for me, the route I took is I went the Knife Only route, i.e., running around in Call of Duty multiplayer and only using a knife. So I've been only knifing since Call of Duty 4. I've knifed in every Call of Duty since, and I want to do a series where we look at the knife, how it works, what perks, what game types, everything that I could possibly cram into a video about going knife only in Call of Duty multiplayer. And this is the first episode. We're going to be looking at Call of Duty 4. I'm ONLYUSEBLADE. Please enjoy. So let's set up our kit. You're not going to be using the gun, but the guns that you want to use for your primary should either be a submachine gun or a shotgun. Those give you the highest mobility. So just choose any one of those. For your sidearm, just go ahead and use a pistol. It doesn't matter. You're not going to be firing. And for your grenades, use smoke. This is key. If you need to get kills with stuns, then don't go knife only. It's more of a skill-based game, and stuns are for noobs. Let's look at the perks in perk 1. We're not going to be using C4. We're not going to be using stuns. We're not going to be using rockets. No claymores, no frags. We don't need bandolier because we're not shooting. So let's get rid of that. The only option really for perk number 1 in every class is going to be Bomb Squad. The red perks. We don't need stopping power. Get out of here. Juggernaut. We do use Juggernaut occasionally. We don't use sleight of hand. We don't use double tap. We don't use overkill. And we do use UAV jammer. We don't use sonic boom. So the two perks for perk number 2, the choices that you have is either UAV Jammer or Juggernaut. Now, UAV Jammer for team-based games, Juggernaut for the first round of Search and Destroy, because they're not going to call a UAV in the first round, and also for free-for-all, because only one person is going to have a UAV, it's only going to benefit them. So the added perks of using Juggernaut are amazing in those situations, but for team-based games, domination, team deathmatch, just use UAV Jammer. Now, on the third perk, Extreme Conditioning is awesome. We don't use steady aim. We're not going to use Last Stand. Fuck Martyrdom. No Deep Impact. Iron Lungs is for snipers. Dead Silence is a key perk that we will use. And no Eavesdrop. So the choices here are Extreme Conditioning or Dead Silence. Extreme Conditioning for team-based games. Dead Silence for free-for-alls. And Search and Destroy. So those are the main perks that you would use. And that's the main setup. So actually your knife-only setups are pretty easy in order to pick what is the best perk selection for you, because most perks pertain to guns or to how well your gun does. So these perks allow you to get the most out of your build. Now, the only time when you would not use a submachine gun or a shotgun is when we go to like a Ninja Defuse type class. Let's say you're playing Search and Destroy. You would actually equip a sniper rifle, which gives you a ghillie suit. The reason why you do this is if you wanted to be able to super ninja and you want to hide in the bushes. Now, here's a little overlay. There's a guy with a ghillie suit hiding in there. You can still kind of see him if you focus on him, but for the most part, you can't. So now, let's go into multiplayer and let's show you some tactics.
Enemy UAV is airborne.
That may have seemed non-eventful, but that is the key to Call of Duty 4 knifing. The UAV, everyone has UAV at 3 kills. There's non-selectable kill streaks, okay? So the UAV is going to go up all the time. And everyone's using Juggernaut or Stopping Power. Very few people are using UAV Jammer, unlike the current Call of Duty games, or Ghost, or whatever you want to call it, Cold-Blooded. Now, so basically use your mini-map, get the hell away from your teammates, and stay off the radar. Bomb squad. You see how I kind of just tickled that little point right there? And then I move like that. That is a way to see where your enemies are at, and then to get in there and to kill them. And so bomb squad saves you from dying from claymores and C4, and it helps you locate the enemy, wait for them, use a little bit of sound, and go like that. Now, bomb squad, there's a little glitch. Bomb squad doesn't work in free-for-all sometimes. If the people you're playing against have the same uniform as you, bomb squad won't work. Like this. So basically, I showed you the perks. I showed you which perks to use in which game types. The key elements of using the UAV and using bomb squad to your advantage. The only real other advantage that you can gain is the sound. Using dead silence in certain game types really allows you to hear where people are coming from, especially if they aren't using dead silence and you're using a headset. If you're using a headset and they're not using dead silence, it's like sound whoring elephants. The only other tips and tricks that I can give you is know the game. If you just to blindly go into a Call of Duty game that you haven't played before and try to knife only, you're not going to have a good time. To play against, sometimes you're going to play against players that are good quality players, and you're not going to have a fun time trying to knife only against them. So the quality of players is something you can't control, and also the connection is a huge part of it. If you have hosts in Call of Duty 4, it's amazing. If you're playing on like a foreign connection, it's going to be the most frustrating thing of your lifetime. So the connection plays a big part of it, who you play, the maps, how you play it. The only other thing I can really tell you is just to practice. No Call of Duty in and out before you try to go do knife only. Knife only is more of an advanced type thing. Like you wouldn't teach your little brother who's never played Call of Duty before how to quick scope. You would teach him how to use a red gun, and then once he gets comfortable, then you can apply more advanced techniques. The kill streaks, UAV, airstrike, helicopter, use them. If you get 7 kills in a row knifing only versus people that are using guns, go ahead and use it. If you don't use it, then you're not even able to obtain new UAVs, and that's hurting your team and hurting you. So in Call of Duty 4, use your kill streaks, all of you get, because you can't even select them. This has been the first episode of the history of the Call of Duty knife. This is Call of Duty 4, my personal favorite. I'm ONLYUSEmeBLADE. A lot of effort went into this video. If you can please like it, that'd be awesome. Otherwise, peace and butt grease. In 2008, Treyarch used the Call of Duty 4 engine to make the game World at War. Using the same engine, a lot of the same perks and setups, it is like Call of Duty 4 except for set in the World War II setting. The knife was extremely hard to use. World at War introduced zombies, but as far as the melee attack and going knife only, it's an exercise in frustration. I've played all the Call of Duties, and I must say that World at War is the most difficult to go knife only in. This is the history of the COD knife. So just like Call of Duty 4, World at War has a similar perk setup, and a lot of these things are just going to sound like a repeat with a World at War skin. So for increased mobility, you want to use a shotgun or a submachine gun. Just use the first pistol. Doesn't really matter which pistol you use. You want to use a smoke grenade. As far as the reason why you pull out a pistol is because the knife recovery is a lot better when you have a pistol out rather than having like a shotgun or the SMG out. So we're going to look at perk 1 and see which ones we don't use and which ones we do use. Actually, it's going to be 1. So no grenades, no satchel charges, no bazookas, bouncing betties, bandolier, primary, all that stuff we get rid of. We're just going to be using bomb squad. Okay. Now, one note about bomb squad is when you see bouncing betties, unless you're host or you have a really, really good connection to the host, leave bouncing betties alone. Because if you try to just tickle it and back off a little bit, the bouncing betty will kill you unless your connection is up for it. And connection is key when playing this game. World at War knifing, connection is key. If you have host, you'll have a much easier time. If you don't have host, good luck, buddy. So now we're going to go on to perk number 2. Similar to the perk setup in Call of Duty 4, most of the stuff we're not going to be using. We're going to get rid of stopping power, fireworks. Flak jacket isn't really needed. Explosives are in World at War, but they're not like prevalent. And so the 2 perks that I recommend using, of course these are all just recommendations, is Juggernaut and Camouflage. Now, you use Juggernaut for free-for-all for that little extra health, and then the first round of Search and Destroy because they're not going to be calling in UAVs. All other game modes and all other game types, staying off the radar is crucial for that sneaky attack. So just use Camouflage. For perk number 3, get rid of Deep Impact, Steady Aim, Toss Back. Get rid of all this stuff because the only 2 perks that you really need to choose from in the perk 3 slot are Dead Silence and Extreme Conditioning. Dead Silence is used more for free-for-all and Search and Destroy, so you can silent horror. But all the other game modes are so hectic. Extreme Conditioning allows you to like run and get in their spawn and you know, get behind enemies in order to get that knife attack. So Extreme Conditioning for everything except for free-for-all and Search and Destroy. So World at War was the first game in the Call of Duty series that had a bayonet knife attachment. Basically, it was a knife that was attached to the gun. You can get it for the shotgun, or you can get it for the sniper rifles. Now, in order to unlock this attachment, you have to get kills with the gun. There's no workaround. And also, when you get a kill with your bayonet, it shows up as a gun kill in your stats and in the kill feed. Now, one benefit of, the main benefit of using the bayonet attachment is that the range is a lot further. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to look at, this is in slow-mo. This guy's a submachine gun really, really far away from me. A normal knife would not get anywhere near him, but a little juke, and I'm able to get the bayonet kill on him. So the bayonet is fun. It is interesting that they introduced a knife attachment for guns. It's actually really fun if you're going shooting just to have that on there just to be able to poke people. The knife in World at War, you have to be precise. You have to be extremely close. Let's go to some multiplayer footage and I'll show you some examples. So we're going into a game of Dome on Team Deathmatch. It's kind of like the Nuketown of World at War. Small map. I'm going to be using the bayonet, and I'm super excited. Now, you see the little text? World at War is hacked to death, and people run around with God mode. That's a hit marker with a knife in Call of Duty. You're not supposed to get hit markers with knives in Call of Duty. People have God mode. People are flying all over the place. It's frustrating. All you can really do is just back out because there's no real point in playing maps like that. Now, this is more of an example to show you that you need to be right on the person in order to get the knife. I actually think this is a good thing. I know it's going to sound a little weird, but I think that's a good thing that you need to be near people in order to get knife. But one of the biggest issues this is slowed down of the knife in Call of Duty is not the knife, but the dreaded MP40. The MP40 is just a god gun. It's right up there with the noob tubes in Modern Warfare 2. Shoots really, I mean, there's so many issues that you have with it. Shoots really fast, super deadly. If you use it, you will go ham in the game. And if you don't use it, you're at a severe disadvantage. Jump knife! There you go. So overall, the knife in World at War is extremely hard to use, but also I think it's extremely satisfying. And I don't have a problem not being able to easily run around and knife people because it's a knife. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be a challenge. But World at War was extremely challenging, and the next game coming up is Modern Warfare 2 was the complete opposite. ONLYUSEmeBLADE, peace and butt grease. Modern Warfare 2. Holy crap. Modern Warfare 2 came out in November of 2009, and the multiplayer experience was the most insane and ridiculous thing gaming has ever seen. Over the top is an understatement. If you're a Call of Duty developer and you're developing a game, I like to make the analogy of looking at it as picking your ingredients for a burrito. Okay? You know when you go to a restaurant and you get to go in the Subway style line and pick ingredients for your burrito? A lot of times you get the right amount of rice and beans and guacamole and sour cream and, you know, maybe some chicken and some lettuce, and you just wrap it up and that's a good, tasty, good, balanced burrito, right? Well, Infinity Ward was fucking Jaeger bomb wasted when they ordered their burrito and made Modern Warfare 2 because they put every single ingredient in the line, double portions, hot sauces, habaneros, everything. They threw everything in there and just wrapped it up. And it was the epic mealtime of Call of Duties. Everything in Modern Warfare 2 was overpowered as fuck. All the guns killed extremely easily. The hit detection was amazing. The sleight of hand sniping, one-man army, danger close noob tubes, and the marathon lightweight commando kids, no recoil, assault rifle, everything. Everything was overpowered as fuck. But it was fun. Somehow they made a game that was extreme shit show, but it was fun as fuck. The knife was extremely good. Extremely good in Modern Warfare 2. Let's talk about it. This is Call of Duty Knife History, Modern Warfare 2. Way more complicated than Call of Duty 4 and World at War. Modern Warfare 2 gave you so many customizable options that we've never seen in a game. Let's first look at perk number 1. The only perk from perk number 1 that you're going to really be using as a knife-only player is Marathon Pro. Some people may say, oh, you should use Scavenger, because if you use Scavenger, it replenish knives. It's like, I know, but having to stop, not have the ability to run forever in this game, where everything kills so quickly, is just not a good idea. Perk number 2, you have Lightweight and you have Cold-Blooded. Lightweight makes you run a little bit faster, and Cold-Blooded is more used to stay off the radar. Since you're not going to be showing up on the radar because you're knifing, the only time you show up on the radar is when they throw up UAVs. If you use Cold-Blooded, you stay off the radar completely, and it's way more stealth-like. It's kind of the same thing, you know, if you're in Search and Destroy, just throw on Cold-Blooded the second round, you're good to go. Now, the third perk is you have the Ninja perk, which basically means no footsteps and you stay off the heartbeat sensors. And then you got Commando. Commando, no fall damage and increased melee range. Game breaker. This, right up there with one-man army noob tubes and the sleight of hand sniping, almost broke this game for a lot of people. Actually, it did break the game for a lot of people. Special grenade, definitely want to rock with that smoke because we're ninjas. And then the next thing we're going to look at is equipment. This is the first game in the Call of Duty series that had projectile knives, i.e., sometimes they're called tomahawks, sometimes they're called battle axes. In this game, it's called a throw knife. Awesome, awesome, awesome thing. Like, they were just fun to use. They weren't too difficult, but it's kind of unforgiving because once you throw it, you have to either pick it up or you just don't have it anymore. Now, what attachment should you use on your pistol? There's actually 3 different attachments that will affect how you play. When we look at the USP, you have no attachments, the akimbo, which is carrying 2 at one time, and the tactical knife. All of them offer different things for different situations. So, like, first off, when you have, like, the tac knife allows you, I believe, it's shorter range. They don't dictate that in all the studies they do. They don't say it shortens the range, but I believe it shortens the range a little bit. But the knife recovery after you knife someone is so fast. So in fast-paced games, you can run up on people and go step, 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 step. Now, the akimbo, I believe, just as through real-world playing, I believe that the range is higher, the animations is the fastest, but the problem that you kind of have is that the inconsistency, it's kind of glitchy, and also the recovery is not that good. Right in between those two, you have basically no attachments, so you kind of have the best of both, not the best of both worlds, but you just kind of have a compromise between the quickness of the tac knife and the range of the akimbos. So it's just more of a personal preference to see what you like, what you play with. All of them are very, very good. The knife is a one-hit kill. Now, Modern Warfare 2 was the first game that ever allowed you to have customizable kill streaks. So a lot of them, obviously, are ones that, you know, do damage. So the ones that you do have, you have UAV and counter UAV. And then you also have care packages. Care packages, you throw it down, a thing drops from the sky. And so you can use a care package at 4, or at 8 you can use an emergency airdrop, which actually drops 4 care packages. It's just good teammates. Like, you run around and you give your teammates the care packages. It's pretty awesome. EMP at 15 kills. And then, obviously, the nuke, if you can ever get the nuke. Now, this right here is Modern Warfare 2 in a nutshell, and why gameplay outside of Search and Destroy kind of got ruined. So, see how I'm able to stab David Fox through all those bullets because I had Commando and Painkiller? Now look in the kill feed. See how I killed David Fox? I kill him again in this. I get a rolling kill feed on someone in free-for-all. That's stupid. And then also, we all know about the noob tubes. This isn't One Man Army or Danger Close, but you can kind of tell, just kaboom, you know. The noob tubes, the commando kids, and these kids, the kids that do the insta-kill sniping. That dude's not even using sleight of hand. It made the game super duper frustrating. Now, I played mostly Search and Destroy afterwards. Like, after all these little issues, Search and Destroy was more of a game type that allowed you not to deal with a lot of the bullshit that they have in the game. Modern Warfare 2 was fun and frustrating at the same time. The knife was overpowered, I admit that. But everything is overpowered, like I said before. The introduction of the throw knife, customizable kill streaks, the best hit detection of any Call of Duty. The main reason why the connection was so good is because it was the latest technology, and also there was no theater mode yet. So, if I were to do it all over again, if Modern Warfare 2 were to come out today, I would have used Commando. Fuck it. You know what I mean? But back in the day, I still had like some Call of Duty honor. And you can't really have honor in this Call of Duty because this Call of Duty is all about who could be the biggest D-bag. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's fun. I've never gone One Man Army noob tubing, but it probably would be fun. I'm still not going to do it. I'm not that big of a dumpster baby. But but the knife in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was fantastic. The best connectivity of any of the Call of Duties. Great game, but horrible game at the same time. If that kind of makes sense. It's a great game and a shitty game at the same time. It could have been fantastic if they would have tweaked it a little bit, but at the same time, it's so ridiculous and so awesome that it makes you remember that this is an arcade shooter. This isn't some, war simulator. So that's the knife for Modern Warfare 2. I'm ONLYUSEmeBLADE. These videos take more effort than a regular commentary, so your support with liking and sharing is always appreciated. If not, peace and butt grease. Super old school. So this is a second part of the history of Call of Duty knives, simply because a lot of you guys left comments reminding me that I forgot something. Care package glitch. Why didn't you talk about the care package glitch? Unsub Woody. Holy shit. The care package glitch. I don't know how the hell me doing a video called The History of Call of Duty Knives and I forgot about an iconic, amazing, amazing time. The care package glitch. So let me explain what the care package glitch was. I'm going to show you some old footage of me actually using it, and it was fucking fun. The care package glitch was this. Get 4 kills, like so. Put that little care package marker in your hand and fucking go. That's all the instructions. You are good to go, buddy. The care package glitch allowed you to run way faster than normal. Even though you could already run insanely fast, now you could run even faster. And it was awesome. It really was. When people found out about this, we all collectively, I can't speak for everybody, look how far down the hallway that dude is. He's bad, but still. When we found out about this, collectively, I'm just going to talk about knifers or people that just play Call of Duty. When we found out about this, we went to town. We knew that they were going to patch this. There's no way that this game would have, gone on if they never patched that. We knew that it was going to get patched. So we decided to just run with it, have fun. And so during that month or so, when this care package thing was a thing that you could use, we just abused it, knowing that, while it's here, let's do it. So that's the care package glitch. It lasted for about a month, and it was really, really fun. It really annoyed people that obviously got killed by it, but for that little month, our knifing heart contents were having a blast with it. Then, obviously, us knifers, we went the whole, cold-blooded ninja stealthy route. But for this time, we just went ran around like complete maniacs. Sit down! Obviously, this footage is old because there's no way I can do the care package glitch now. It is patched. For some reason, they forgot to patch the One Man Army noob tubes or the sleight of hand sniping. It's kind of silly. So, come on, here, sit down. Other things that I forgot to talk about is I forgot to talk about unlocking perks like Cold-Blooded Pro. You can get Cold-Blooded Pro without shooting, But the issue is people kind of don't know how it works, because in order to get Cold-Blooded Pro, you need to like shoot down air support. Well, one way you can get Cold-Blooded Pro without shooting is the ability to knife sentry guns. And to make it so there's more sentry guns in the game, I literally will throw sentry guns, equip sentry guns, throw them, and then I will stalk my prey and have him put down the sentry gun and knife it. So I think you have to do this like 40 times, 40 sentry guns, and then that's how you're able to get, and you have to have Cold-Blooded Pro equipped. That's how you're able to get Cold-Blooded Pro in Modern Warfare 2 without shooting. I'm only use Blade if I can help it. I don't want to have to shoot any guns. So get him and sit down. Okay. Now the next thing is the tactical knife. How do you get tactical knife if you don't shoot? Well, I'll show you. So there's a couple different ways to go about it, but let me just show you the easy way if you want to do it for the Magnum. So you go to the first recon class, and look, you have pretty much a perfect knife only setup, except for instead of throwing knives, you have Semtex. But with this setup right here, it gives you the Magnum with the tac knife. So you go into games and you knife with it. Every knife that you get with that tac knife will unlock kills for your Magnum. And this is literally me achieving that. He gets knifed. Look at the screen. I got 100 kills with the Magnum, and then that means that I've unlocked the tactical knife. That's how it works. So if you can somehow secure, see, I got the tac knife. If you can somehow secure a knife through that creator class thing, you can unlock kills to them. But you may be going, well, how do you get the Akimbo USPs then? How do you get the USP tac knife? I go into a game with someone who already has a USP tac knife, and I have him kill himself. Okay, this isn't really boosting. I have him kill himself. I pick it up, and then I go knife with it. And then wherever I drop it, I just pick it up again. So this is a pain in the ass. But once I get enough kills with it, I've actually unlocked all the attachments for the Akimbo USP, which is awesome. So there you go, guys. That is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Knife History Part 2. Sorry I didn't include it in the first one. I love you. Peace and buckaroos. So in 2010, Treyarch brought us Black Ops, a completely different game than Modern Warfare 2. Not saying it's bad, it's just different. Black Ops, as the name would entail, is more of a stealth-based strategic shooter, more focused on team efforts than the Rambo go crazy mode that was Modern Warfare 2. Black Ops actually introduced a lot of things, but at the same time they took into consideration how we would use those things, and they actually balanced it. They introduced a whole new system with COD points. They introduced wager matches, and they introduced pro perks. They even gave us knifers a ballistic knife, a knife that would shoot a projectile blade out of it. Black Ops during this time, I did not care for it, but it grew on me. It is more of a skill-based Call of Duty. A lot of people don't like that. A lot of people want the insanity that was Modern Warfare 2, and Treyarch just did not bring that. It had its problems, but I think Black Ops is actually one of the best titles in the series. And with the introduction of the ballistic knife, it was extremely fun to go knife only. This is Call of Duty Black Ops Knife History. So there's a lot that goes into creating your class before you even step onto the battlefield that is Call of Duty in the Black Ops version of this Call of Duty. So, like previous ones before, obviously your primary weapon can be either an SMG or a shotgun. And the reason why you pick that is because it gives you the highest mobility. Now you have two options for your secondary. You can either use just a regular pistol. And if you use a regular pistol, you probably want to use the perk Steady Aim, just because you can recover from knife lunges faster. But Black Ops 1 introduced the ballistic knife. Ballistic knife is definitely what you want to use if you end up going knife only. Not only is it more range and the ability to knife faster, but you can also shoot a skewer out of your ballistic knife in order to kill people. In your lethals, you definitely want to use a tomahawk. I actually like the Tomahawks a lot better. Combine Tomahawks with the Warlord Pro perk, and you're good to go. In the tactical section, kind of in the same way as the previous ones, you want to use the Willie Pete, which is their version of a smokescreen. If you use stuns, you're bad, so kill yourself. And so if you're knifing, definitely use the Willie Pete. Now for equipment, what you want to use is you actually want to use the jammer. I think this is the best option for equipment. Maybe tac insert, but not really. So the reason why you use the jammer is because if you put the jammer down, like let's say like right around here, if you put the jammer down, it has a huge radius that's going to disable any kind of electronics. So right now in this little overlay, I actually put the jammer down, kill a couple guys. I'm able to run past that claymore and kill this guy that's in final stand, last stand, whatever you want to call it. Perk number 1. There actually is only one perk you don't really need in perk number 1, and that is the hardline perk. Lightweight, scavenger, ghost, and flak jacket are all viable options. Lightweight makes you move faster, scavenger allows you to replenish grenades, ghost keeps you off the radar, and flak jacket protects you from explosives. Now, in perk number 2, you really only have 2 perks, but really only 1. You have Steady Aim Pro, which actually allows you to recover from knifing faster, but it doesn't make a difference when you're using the ballistic knife. But you also have Warlord Pro, which gives you the ability to have 2 tomahawks, which is key. In the 3rd perk slot, really the only 2 perks that I see are beneficial are Marathon Pro and Ninja Pro. Ninja Pro, the version is that you're quiet and you can hear people louder. Marathon Pro, the Pro version allows you to run forever, i.e. never catch a breath. In most game types, Marathon Pro is the way to go. Possibly in Search and Destroy or Free For All, you want to use Ninja. So the kill streaks, there's tons of kill streaks in Black Ops 1 that you can use. But for knifing, the main kill streaks that I always use are UAV, Counter UAV, and Blackbird. You can use a care package to throw it to people, and if you really want to be the team player, I guess you can use SAM turrets, but I kind of frown upon that a little bit. I don't know. But the UAV, Counter UAV, and Blackbird, definitely the way to go. The Blackbird at 8 kills literally shows the enemy position in real time and which way they're facing. Insta-skill. As soon as you get the Blackbird, all of a sudden you are an amazing Black Ops player.
Humiliation.
Oh my god!
Calm down, buddy. So Treyarch kind of took a game mode from, I think it was Counter-Strike. Gun game, i.e. you move through the weapons. After you get a kill with a weapon, you progress to another one. Finally get a kill with the ballistic knife, you win the game. But if you get knifed, you go down a level. I used to only knife people, hence my name. I used to record the reactions. Nothing brought me more joy than that. Thank you, Treyarch.
No! I'm not gonna fucking calm down! This game's a piece of shit! I'm quitting because that ONLYUSEBLADE guy is such a fucking pussy.
So in regular playlists, obviously the knifing and gun game is just an amazing fun thing to do. And it's kind of sad because there's so many game types, very few people are actually still playing gun game on the original Black Ops. I think that a lot of game types actually ends up hurting a franchise in a way. If you go to Modern Warfare 3, there's so many game types that everyone's kind of spread too thin. That's just my personal opinion. Anyways, so the 2 main issues that really hurt Black Ops 1, I'm not trying to be negative, but the 2 main issues, one is the connection. A lot of it's actually caused by theater mode. The connection and the hit detection, because of theater mode and because of Treyarch's weird coding or whatever, it just never quite played right. I've heard from a lot of people that the PC version of Black Ops played amazing. But connection is such a huge key, so when that is when it's an even bigger issue in this game than in previous games, it makes it extremely frustrating, so the online multiplayer experience is lacking. Also, they decided to get rid of stopping power in Juggernaut. Now, the reason why that's an issue is because usually the 3 strongest perks are ones you have to choose from. Stopping power, increased bullet damage, Juggernaut, increased health, and UAV jammer to stay off the radar. Now, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but like when you take away stopping power, the UAV jammer perk, in this game it's called Ghost, it's a little overpowered. There's nothing to counter. The only thing to counter is an 8 kill streak. And the reason why it's an issue is it slows the game down. Normally when you get kills in a Call of Duty, you get kills, like 3 kills, call an UAV, get more people, and that's how you get your streaks, by having an advantage. But when you take away that advantage, it means it's more gun-on-gun play, but at the same time, it just slows it down to a halt. Team deathmatches used to go the whole 10 minutes. That and the connection were the only downfalls of Call of Duty Black Ops. Otherwise, a great game. The knife in it was actually one of the easiest, I think, of all the Call of Duties, for the simple fact that it actually took some skill in order to kill people with guns. It took a lot of bullets to drop people with the connection, and also just how many bullets it took to kill people. So, since the knife is always a one-hit kill, the addition of the ballistic knife, the ability to either skewer or tomahawk or knife is key. One last thing that I need to make sure I remember, I try to cover all bases, is that when you're using the ballistic knife, you shoot it, you actually show up on the radar. This has been the Call of Duty Black Ops 1 Knife History by ONLYUSEmeBLADE. Peace and butt grease.